Harris, producer and host of Aim for the Stars, where you'll meet the stars of today and tomorrow. I'm an actress and model from the East Coast of the United States, and this show is brought to you by Just TV and Jess FM Radio from Lethbridge, Alberta. I'm pleased to introduce my next guest, Thompson Blake. Thompson is an actor and writer. He's been in hit shows like Ozark, Dynasty, and Heat in the Night. I'm very excited to have you tonight, and I'm happy that you could join.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm very flattered that you even asked. So.
Oh, of course. So you've had epic fight scenes with Jason and Laura in Ozark. Can you tell the audience a little bit more about that audition process?
The audition process? Well, oddly enough, I had auditioned for Ozark probably 17 times, I'm going to say, and that was probably my 17th audition for that. So many of the roles that I got, I was not right for. And when this one came across my email, I was like, all right. I looked at the pages and I was like, oh yeah, right. Like I'm going to fight Jason Bateman. Like they're going to cast me to do that. Come on. And then I looked at the breakdown, which is the character description, all that stuff. And it said, this character is a heightened Marty Bird. So basically it was a Jason Bateman type. And at that moment I was like, all right, you know what? I might have a shot at this. So I did the audition. It took about a month before I heard anything back. You know, just forget about it and let it go. And then I got the email from my agent saying they want to check your availability. And at that moment, I was like, I got this. I got this. And I get those avail checks all the time. Mm-hmm. But this particular one, I was like, yeah, I got this. And within 2 hours, my agent called, and my agent, Christy Clark, at Stewart Talent, and she was like, you got it. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. So that was the audition process.
Wow. Okay. So was there anything that you think you did differently or set you apart in those 17 auditions to what made you stand out? What do you think you did differently than everyone else?
Well, in the 17 auditions, I mean, I must have been doing something right. Otherwise, they wouldn't have kept calling me back. So there must have been something there. In this particular audition, I think that we were in lockdown from COVID. There was a lot of that stuff going on, and I think everybody was just feeling that road rage scene, and I just let that come out, and that's what I did. And I think it also comes down to like your physical look as well. I mean, there's also that, and I think I looked enough like Jason Bateman to where it would work in the scene. I think they were looking for that as well.
Very cool. So how was your experience on set?
It was crazy. I mean, just the moment that you get that. See, I'm a big fan of the show. I love that show. I would say it's in my top 5 favorite. Number 1, Breaking Bad. Number 2, Game of Thrones. And then Ozark was absolutely number 3. So I already loved that show. And when I got that opportunity to be on that, it's like, wow, I get to play pretend in that world. It's like I'm part of that world of like, you know, my favorite show, one of my favorite shows ever. And it was great. And we, you know, had all that COVID stuff. So all that testing was going on and stuff back then. But the experience was great. We had a great like rehearsal day, and I met Laura and Jason, and she directed that episode also. So that was very flattering that she actually chose me, because she could have chosen anybody. And showed up, we did the rehearsal, and then we did the day of the shoot, which was on, we did one day, showed up about 4 a.m., got into makeup, swabbed the nose for COVID, and then went on set and we started shooting. And it was really hot that day. I remember it was like 102 degrees. I went through about 6 different shirts because we were sweating the entire day. Although Jason never changed his shirt once, but he never did. He just didn't care. Yeah. Is there any particular thing that you would like to know about it? I'll tell you this. I was very sore at the end of the day. I'll tell you that. The stuntman offered me a padding to wear up underneath the shirt, and it was just so hot and sticky. I declined it, just thinking, you know, I mean, we got this. And I think that was kind of a mistake on my part, just because it took such a physical toll. And by the end of the day, I was so sore. I can't even begin to tell you. I've never felt soreness like that. And at the end of the day, when we finished, Laura did come up to me and she goes, let me give you some advice. Go to the store and get a pack of those icy hot patches. It helps. And then she kind of laughed. She goes, the things we do for our art, right? And then she walked away. But yeah, it was a good experience. Definitely memorable. That's for sure.
So that was such a big scene, and you were very active. You said you were sore. I'm wondering, did you have any stunt experience prior to this, or were you kind of just thrown into this role?
No. I'm fairly athletic, and I have stunt experience on set. Um, and then I was also I did taekwondo, and I'm actually a bronze medalist in the Junior Olympics for that. So, I knew how to do fight stuff. I've always stayed in shape that way. But you just don't realize going on there when you start working at, get your first shot off at 8, and your last shot's done at 7:30, and you've basically been doing it all day. But yeah, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it must have been a lot of work, and that and like exhausting yourself over and over again for scenes like that.
You just keep doing it over and over. And I remember the last shot is when Jason's walking off, and that is the last shot that we filmed. And I was told, okay, well, I'll just back up. So they came to me after we did the fight scene, and it was all done supposedly, and and they said go back to base camp. A couple hours, we're going to do some shots with Jason and Laura in the car, and then we're going to come back and we're just going to get you doing the shooting the bird like through the window of the car. And I was like, okay, so that's it. So no more fighting. They're like, nope, no more fight. We're done. And then I came back and they're like, well, Jason doesn't like the way he was walking away from the car. So he really wants to nail that down. So he goes, we're not going to do any of the fight stuff. He's just going to like swing a couple times and Laura's like, yeah, just slink down by the car, just slink down slowly, and then just kind of collapse and be knocked out. And then he's going to walk away. And we ended up doing that several times. He just couldn't get it right. Finally, the last one he did get it right, and he kicked me. That's the only take he did that kick, and he did land that kick pretty well. And then when it was done, he came running back. He's like, "Oh man, dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I did not mean to kick you. I'm so sorry about that." And I'm like, "No, it's cool. Does it look good?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, it looks great." I'm like, "Awesome." And did we just get a picture? And that was it. So
sometimes the best scenes are, I guess, the ones that are real. Real emotion behind them.
Look good. I'm just sitting there. Please look good. Please look good. Please look good. So,
absolutely. After that scene,
yeah, she directed that episode, and she just did an amazing job. That was a big scene. There was a lot of cars there, a lot of extras, in the middle of an intersection with the traffic lights blinking and everything else going on. It was just a very, very, very big scene. Just a lot of people there doing that. So she nailed it. Gotta hand it to her. And thank you all for having me.
That's amazing. Have you had anybody recognize you after this role?
Okay, so for the most part, people recognize me who know me in passing, like at the gym, people that you see every single day, and you have for a couple years or whatever. A lot of people like that came up to me and said, "Hey, I just saw Ozark. Was that you in it?" So I got a lot of that, a lot of that. I did have one time I was in a restaurant and a kid came up to me, probably about 10 years old, and he goes, "You were really great in Ozark." And I go, "Okay, you shouldn't be watching Ozark." And then the mom came up and she goes, "No, he didn't watch Ozark. I put him up to it, but I watched it." And I kind of thought that was you. And that was the only time that it was somebody completely random. So.
Wow, he must have been a super fan. Or the mom really was a schemester.
He must have been a super fan. I don't know how you'd recognize me, honestly. So, but anyway, so yeah, so that's that.
Wow. Okay, so how did you first get started in acting?
Well, it was something I wanted to do as a kid, and I would make movies around the neighborhood and stuff like that with all the neighborhood kids and my brother and sister and that kind of thing. And I did do high school plays, and I did a play in kindergarten, first, second at my school. We had that drama program, the school that I went to, and um, my first actual real job was on a commercial for Charter Peach for Hospitals, which is like a drug rehab clinic. And I was a high school kid, and I was in jail, and mom came and visit me and in the jail, and that was the commercial that I did. And graduated from high school, and after that, did In the Heat of the Night. And but I think that was after I graduated. Was I in high school? No, I think I graduated already. I think I did graduate high school when I did that. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. So since you've been acting for a while, you've seen how the industry has evolved over the last decade and also throughout COVID. What are your thoughts about those changes, and do you think the film industry has improved in some ways?
Has it improved? Well, I mean, I know that 5, 6 years ago, and you may know this as well because you're doing the same thing. I mean, we just had a ton of auditions. I mean, 7, 8 auditions a week was not unusual back then. And now that's just dried up. I mean, you're lucky if you get, one a week.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of the way it is. But I have heard rumors that a lot of these stages here are booked up again starting next year in January. And it may very well be a good 2026 for this stuff. So fingers crossed. I hope so. But yeah, with just so many shows have been canceled. And then a lot of shows have gone overseas to England and, you know, Bulgaria. I saw one movie, looking at the credits, a movie that takes place in Detroit, and the whole thing was shot in Bulgaria. I'm like, wow, okay, must be really cheap to shoot there. Otherwise, they wouldn't go.
One thing that I like about, I guess, that after COVID is the ability to do self tapes virtually now, which I think before wasn't really, you would go in person a lot, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is more accurate to, I guess, how they would do films with you having a camera in your face. So I like that.
Do you miss that at all? Going in the room?
Do I miss it?
Yeah.
No, not really.
I actually really do. I really miss going in the room. I miss that adrenaline. I miss the nerves, and yeah, I do. And also, you have sometimes you upload these things and you wonder if anybody even sees it. And I mean, I'm told that they are, and but that one-on-one like FaceTime with these casting directors was something I really enjoyed. So.
Yeah. But
I agree. It's a lot easier to self-tape. And if you mess up, you can't do it again.
It is, and I'm in I guess, not a super great area for acting, so it's nice to be able to submit anywhere in the world and not have to drive to.
But that is a good thing. That is a good thing. So if you can read for something in LA and be somewhere else, and you don't have to be there in the city. So that is a good thing. That is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, for the new viewers just joining in, my name is Arianna, and I'm the host and producer for Aim of the Stars, and we are coming to you live on Just TV. And my guest today is Thompson Blake. He's an actor and a writer. So, I was wondering now, what's your most memorable moment on set, just in general, from any set, any acting experience? What was your favorite?
My favorite experience or most memorable?
I guess you could do both.
One of my favorite experiences, there's a couple of them. So I did this web series called Rolling Soldier, and my friend John Tate wrote, created, produced, directed that thing, edited, did all the music, everything. And he cast a lot of people from the acting studio that we were going to, Particle Studio out in Los Angeles. And he used all the people from the studio, and that was a good experience just because, just thinking back in those days, it was just a lot of fun, like just collaborating with friends and everything else, and that was fun. Something like Ozark, you just show up and you do your job. There's no real collaboration there. It's like you just show up and you do it.
Mm-hmm.
you know what? Going back to Ozark, one of the memorable things on that I remember that I really enjoyed was working with Jason and Laura, who are two A-list stars, and watching Jason work was very interesting because he would improv a lot of that stuff, and then so a lot of that stuff he said was done in the script, and I just remember almost wanting to laugh a little bit when he would say something I just thought was funny, like the thing where he goes, "Want me to repeat it?" Like stuff like that, like little. I can't even remember the lines now. Yeah. Anyway, there was a little bitty things that I'm just like, oh, that's just kind of funny. So he would just add little things to it, and he was just brilliant on that deck. Um, and I got to watch him do that in his process, which was a lot of fun as well. So that was very memorable. Um, let's see what else. I remember I shot a short film, 35 millimeter.
Mm.
This is back in like 2006, somewhere around in there, and it was very expensive. I borrowed money from family and put a lot of money on credit cards, and it was a lot of money to do that. And the last day we were shooting at this house, and there was a guy that lived next door who was like a union guy, like a union grip or electrician or something like that. And he came over and kind of got in our business because we weren't union, and
Mm.
and he's over there, and then he started like causing problems, like throwing stuff and stuff like that, just trying to like disrupt the set. Like, hey, you non-union scabs, go home, like stuff like. I mean, I'm like, dude, I'm just doing what I can here. It's just a little short. Anyway, he called the police, and the police showed up, and I mean, LAPD shows up, and you've got like two police cars, a helicopter, literally circling the house, and we had permits, and they were very expensive. They're like $800 for the permits, and
Wow.
we presented we had them, but I think our last it was like until 8 p.m. and the police just stood out there with their lights flashing, by the way, and they're like, at 8 o'clock we're shutting you down. It was unbelievable, and they did. So we're like scurrying, trying to get off those last shots, and in the film you can actually see the color of the police lights like in the window of the house, and that was a memorable experience. I learned a lot on that. I learned a lot. That was my film school, basically.
Wow. That's so funny. I can't believe you got shut down by police.
Yeah, they shut us down that last shot, and yeah, and the guy who I was doing that short with is Walter Goggins,
Mm.
who's the guy I moved out to LA with, and he's a friend of mine as well, and he had a lot of experience because he had done the Shield, and and he knew how to navigate a lot of that stuff, so he was instrumental in helping navigate a lot of those issues. So
Awesome. So you have a whole, like, it sounds like you have a big range of different projects under your belt. I was wondering what's the difference between a smaller production set where there's not a lot of people versus the bigger sets like Ozark. What is the difference and process with how each one is handled, and do you have a preference?
well, I'll tell you what, being on the big sets like Ozark are certainly nice because you really don't have to do anything except for act, and you just have everybody just catering to you and just giving you everything. Same with like Dynasty and In the Heat of the Night, the same thing. I mean, just people always around you. Just you really don't have to do anything except for act. Um, the smaller stuff, you definitely have to get your hands dirty. Like when I was doing that short, the smaller stuff is like I'm helping move boxes around, and I'm helping the grip people move lights, and and there's something that's kind of fun about that too. But I do like the collaboration. Maybe someday we'll be at a level where we are being able to collaborate at the very top with the top people, and and who knows? We'll see what it's like when we're at that point, and we will be there, Ariana.
Yes,
We'll
manifest
be
it.
blessed. Yeah.
On that topic, which which performance in film or TV are you most proud of, and what would you like people to see the most?
Gosh, I think that the film that I'm really most proud of doing is called A Man with a Movie Camera.
Mm.
It's a 35 mm short. It's a AFI, American Film Institute thesis. The girl who directed that and wrote it and created it. It was her thesis film, and her name is Rachel Kleinman, and she's in the cinematography program, and it's just a beautiful little 35 millimeter short, and it's about this guy who lives his life looking through a camera lens, which is like basically like watching TV. So he puts it in and he lives these dreams and stuff, but he's not living real life. He's not really out in the world living. Everything he lives is he sees through this movie camera, which I guess was her scariest thing. Is, am I just going to see my whole life through a movie camera, or am I going to get out and actually experience life? And I love that short. I just think it's just beautiful. I think that's my favorite thing.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of thought and intention put into it. So
yeah, it was really good, and those AFI those grads are just amazing, just amazing, talented filmmakers, amazingly talented. So.
Okay. So, do you have anybody that you look up to? Do you have a role model?
I wouldn't say I have a role model, but I mean, there are certain artists that I watch and I'm just in awe of, and just got like, wow. I mean, the amount of dedication, like, I mean, I love it. Lady Gaga, I am in awe of Lady Gaga, and just how she consistently puts out hits, and you know, and the videos that she does and everything else, and her athleticism on stage and everything. That just takes a lot of work. I mean, I think she's one of them, believe it or not. So actors, Sean Penn, love Sean Penn, Daniel Day Lewis. I mean, of course, Daniel Day Lewis. Um, Meryl Streep, Laura Linney, Jason Bateman. Love those guys as well.
That's awesome. So they're more of inspirations and not necessarily role models.
I would say inspirations. I'm inspired by people's work. I am, for sure. Directors, yeah, I mean, Tarantino, Martin Scorsese, Tim Burton, I mean, has inspired me beyond belief. He's probably my favorite director, or at least for most of his career. Um, yeah, I do. I am inspired by a lot of directors, for sure.
That's awesome. It's great to have inspiration from a whole bunch of different people who do like each do different things. You can learn a lot from everyone.
Yeah, I just really appreciate just like people who really get to the top of what they do, and you just watch their skill set, and I'm amazed by that. Whatever that is that takes you to get to that level. Um, yeah, I'm blown away by it.
Absolutely. Okay, so outside of acting, do you have anything else that you like to do? Any hobbies?
I'm a runner, so I love to run and go hiking. I am a massive, massive baseball fan and Dodgers fan, actually. I am, yeah, big time Dodgers. Baseball season's over, and I just kind of go, okay, now what do I do with my life? I guess I got to go find something. Um, yes, I love it. I love sports. I like football season and stuff like that, and I love like hanging out with friends and stuff and getting all into the games. So I do like that.
Wow. Okay. So how do you balance all of this? Your work, your watching baseball, hanging out with everyone. What are the challenges in between balancing these?
I mean, it's so hard. I think that if we didn't have to have those survival jobs, I think it would be a lot easier if I was just acting and that was it, acting and writing and just creating. I think it would be a lot easier to balance. But having that survival job is just that's what throws everything off to me. I think that it, I just lost my train of thought. When I get an audition, if it's something especially that I want, time stands still, and that's literally my brain just goes to that, and my imagination and everything that I am goes to that, and then so everything else just kind of tends to suffer a little bit, and I don't know why. So I'm trying to get better about it. for sure. But yeah, so it's hard. It's hard to balance. It's hard to balance when you're a creative, I think.
Yeah, it absolutely is hard to balance, especially since there is a lot of scarcity now in the auditions. Like you mentioned, you'll only get, you're lucky to get one a week, which in the past wasn't, it might have been having a job here or there, but it wasn't at least you had auditions and opportunities.
Right. Well, when I was getting 7, 8 a week, I had no life at that point. I mean, that's like all I thought about. It's like literally you just go into a room, you just go into your imaginative world and read this stuff, and even when you're not learning lines and stuff like that, I mean, it still just has an effect on you because it's still always in your head, kind of working on you a little bit. So it's always there. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to manage it. It's hard, but we do
It is.
it, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's very hard. Do you have any upcoming projects that you're doing that you would like to discuss with everybody?
I've been working on a short, so I've written a short, which I am so excited about. I think it's such a cool idea. It's so original. It's so different and funny, and yeah, it's really cool. And I'm looking forward. I'm gonna shoot this thing in 2026. So that's what I'm really working on. And then auditioning, when I get auditions. Of course, it's a holiday, so it's slow right now anyway. But yeah, so I say that's the main thing.
And what is the plan with the short once you complete it? Where is everybody going to be able to watch this and see your work, or what's your plan? Is it going to go through film festivals, or are you trying to get it?
I'd like to do the film festival route and just like get out there and just have something. And then I've got a couple other screenplays that I really want to do as well. So I'm going to spend more time writing because I haven't here in the last many years, and I really want to get back to that. So,
Absolutely. So you have directed stuff before, correct?
Yeah, I have written and directed stuff, yes.
So what would you say, is it helpful to know how to direct stuff as well as being able to be an actor, or is it kind of difficult to draw the line sometimes about which role you're in? How do you manage that situation?
Yeah, like as a director, it's funny because like when you do auditions and you put them on tape, I I know everything about the lighting and the sound. I mean, I know everything about everything that's going on, and I find myself sometimes focusing more on that. And I don't know. You just got to get out of your head and go, no, no. You're here in the moment, and you're acting. You're in the moment, and don't direct yourself. I mean, I was even doing an audition a couple weeks ago, and I was like, come on, man, you know better than that. Just stop. What are you doing? You know better than that. And ow, oops, yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to direct when you're acting in it too. So the short I did, I was acting in it as well. And after I did that, I was kind of like, you know what? I may never do that again. Either I direct it or I'm in it. I don't necessarily want to do both again. Maybe someday. We'll see.
Awesome. So what would you say, what would you prefer to do? Would you like to be an actor or a director, or do you like being in both worlds?
I like the acting. I think that's my lane. I think that's where I'm best. I do. And I think that like for instance, this short I want to do. Um, I don't necessarily plan on directing. I might go find one of my AFI friends or something like that and have them direct it if they'd be willing to do it, and then I would act in it and just produce it. Is what I think I'd rather do. I would rather be producer actor rather than director.
Yeah, awesome. So you just stay at what you're good at. If you like doing something, why change it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, I think that we're almost out of time. So is there anything else that you would like the viewers to know?
I mean, no, not really. Not really.
Would you like to share your social media so people know where to find you at?
You can find me Thompson Blake on Instagram. I mean, it's .com/Thompson Blake on Instagram and Facebook. But I don't really, honestly, I don't do enough of the Instagram. Or, I mean, I'm on Facebook a little bit more, but I'm bad about it. I'm bad about it. That's another goal. I need to get better at that.
Well, New Year's is coming up. I guess you have lots of resolutions for the year.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Of course. And thank you to our viewers for watching Aim for the Stars. You can be sure to catch my other episodes on